On March 30th, 1968, in the small town of Charlemagne, Quebec, Canada, Céline Dion was born into a family where life revolved around hard work, faith, and music. She was the youngest of 14 children, growing up in a modest home where resources were limited but love was abundant. Her parents, Thérèse Dion and Adhémar Dion, believed deeply in the power of music. Their house often echoed with singing, accordion melodies, and family harmonies around the kitchen table. Though money was scarce, creativity and encouragement filled the space. Celine's childhood was shaped by the idea that music was not simply entertainment. It was a way to express joy, comfort one another, and celebrate life's small victories. Even as a young girl, her voice stood out. Family members noticed that when Celine sang, people naturally stopped to listen. The first song that changed everything. By the time Celine was 12, her family believed strongly in her potential. Her mother and brother helped her write a song called Ce n'était qu'un rêve, which means it was only a dream. They recorded a simple demo and sent it to René, a respected music manager in Quebec. When he heard the recording, he recognized something extraordinary in her voice. After meeting the young singer, he made a bold decision. He would manage her career. In fact, he believed in her so much that he reportedly mortgaged his own home to finance her first album. That act of faith marked the beginning of a partnership that would transform both their lives. With Angelil's guidance, Celine began recording French-language albums that quickly gained popularity in Quebec, establishing her as a rising star before she even reached adulthood. Preparing for a global career. As Celine's early success grew, her manager carefully planned the next stage of her journey. He believed her voice had the potential to reach far beyond French-speaking audiences. To prepare for international success, Celine spent time improving her English and refining her stage presence. This period was not about changing who she was, but helping her navigate the global music industry. She worked with discipline and focus, understanding that talent alone was not enough. The preparation paid off. By the late 1980s, she had already won several music competitions and awards, including international recognition that hinted at the larger career ahead. Step by step, the girl from a small Quebec town was moving toward a world stage she had once only imagined. Love and partnership. Over the years, the professional bond between Celine and René gradually grew into something deeper. Their relationship eventually became romantic, though they kept it private for a long time. The age difference between them drew attention when their relationship became public, and discussions in the media were sometimes intense. Despite the scrutiny, they remained committed to one another. In December 1994, they married in a grand ceremony at Notre Dame Basilica of Montreal. The event was broadcast on Canadian television and watched by thousands of fans. For Celine, the marriage symbolized more than romance. It represented loyalty, trust, and gratitude toward the man who had believed in her talent from the very beginning. The voice that captured the world, the early 1990s, marked the period when Céline Dion's music began reaching international audiences. Albums like The Color of My Love introduced her powerful voice to listeners across North America and Europe. Songs such as The Power of Love and Because You Loved Me quickly became global hits. Her vocal style combined emotional depth with technical precision, allowing her to connect with audiences in a deeply personal way. Critics and fans alike recognized that she possessed a rare ability to deliver songs with sincerity and strength. As her reputation grew, so did her global audience. Concert halls filled, awards followed, and Celine became one of the most recognizable voices in popular music, the song that became a global symbol. In 1997, a moment arrived that would define her career for generations. Director James Cameron was finishing the epic film Titanic when Celine recorded the theme song, My Heart Will Go On. The song quickly became one of the most famous ballads in modern music history. It won major awards and played everywhere, from radio stations to weddings and special events. More importantly, it connected emotionally with listeners around the world. The song's success elevated Céline Dion to an entirely new level of fame. She was no longer simply a successful singer. She had become part of a shared cultural moment that people across continents experienced together. Choosing family over fame. At the height of her success, Celine faced a deeply personal challenge when René was diagnosed with throat cancer. Instead of continuing her career at full speed, she made a decision that surprised many in the entertainment industry. She stepped away from music to support her husband during treatment. For nearly 2 years, she focused on family rather than performances or recording. It was a reminder that, for her, success was never only about fame. When René's health improved, Celine eventually returned to music, but the experience had strengthened her perspective. Family would always remain the center of her life, no matter how large her career became. A new era in Las Vegas. When Celine returned to performing, she introduced a new kind of concert experience with her residency at Caesar's Palace. The show, titled A New Day, began in 2003 and combined music, theater, and visual artistry on a massive scale. Instead of traveling constantly on tour, Celine performed regularly in one location while audiences came to see her. The residency became one of the most successful live shows in entertainment history. Night after night, fans filled the theater to hear the voice that had already become legendary. The project proved that Celine could reinvent how large-scale concerts worked while balancing her personal life and family responsibilities. Family, joys, and personal loss. In 2010, after years of hoping to expand their family, Celine and René welcomed twin sons, Nelson and Eddie, joining their older son, René Charles. The arrival of the twins brought great happiness to the family. However, life also brought difficult moments. In 2016, René passed away after a long battle with cancer. Just days later, Celine also lost her brother Daniel. The losses were deeply emotional, yet Celine continued honoring her commitments and eventually returned to performing. Through music and family support, she found strength during a period that tested her resilience. Facing a rare health challenge. Years later, Celine faced another unexpected challenge when she was diagnosed with stiff person syndrome. The condition affects muscle control and can make movement difficult. Because the disorder is extremely rare, learning how to manage it required careful treatment and therapy. Celine openly shared her diagnosis with fans, explaining that she needed time to focus on her health. Though she had to cancel several performances, she remained hopeful and determined to continue working toward recovery. Her openness helped raise awareness about a condition many people had never heard of before. A moment of courage on the world stage. In 2024, Celine surprised the world with a powerful appearance during the opening ceremony of the 2024 Summer Olympics. Standing near the iconic Eiffel Tower, she performed the song Hymne à l'amour, originally made famous by Edith Piaf. The performance carried deep emotional meaning, reflecting both resilience and gratitude. For viewers around the world, it was a reminder that music can still shine even during life's difficult chapters. The moment resonated with millions who admired her courage and dedication. A legacy built on heart and perseverance today, Céline Dion continues to focus on her health while remaining connected to the music that has shaped her life. Her journey from a crowded home in Quebec to global stages demonstrates the power of perseverance, family support, and genuine passion. Over the decades, she has sold millions of records, performed for world leaders and huge audiences, and inspired generations of singers. Yet beyond awards and achievements, her story is also about resilience. Through joy, loss, and personal challenges, Celine has shown that true artistry comes not only from talent, but from the ability to keep sharing your voice with honesty and heart.